Bitcoin has rebounded from 107,000 up to 117,500 today. Ethereum is trading above 4,600, now coming to the end of this consolidation, now entering the pattern completion zone, and the measured move for this breakout is quite stunning. Also, the total 3 index, which includes everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, so all of the high cap coins and low cap coins, we're seeing that we're coming up to the all-time high, about to break it. We are sitting on the precipice of an alt season. An all-time high for the total 3, with the next target being somewhere close to 2 trillion. I also want to discuss a lesser known risk on, risk off metric, which is extremely useful throughout these cycles to determine whether we're bullish or bearish, whether we should be risk on or risk off. So let's discuss all of this and more in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today it is September 18th, Thursday. It's been a few weeks since I've made a video, and that is because the prices across the market, for the most part, are almost exactly where they were in my last video. Bitcoin is at 117,000 today. In the last video, it was 116. In the last video, Ethereum was at 4,800, and today it's at 4,600. There hasn't really been a huge update, and I don't like to waste my viewers' time. If there's not much to talk about, I'm not going to try to just get clicks and likes for no reason. I'm not about that. I would like to just make videos when it's important to do so, and that's why we're here today. Bitcoin is now trading above 117,000. We can see that we are still following the parabolic trend. This is an analysis that we've been providing on this channel for years, multiple years on end, and it is still playing out. It might be the most consistent analysis on YouTube at this point, and we are now entering the final stage, base 4 up to the sell point, according to the textbook. But when you overlay this onto the chart, it's pointing towards the end of this year or going into the new year that the cycle would peak for Bitcoin, right? For Bitcoin, it could be different than the altcoins. And I'll explain why I'm saying that. And even if Bitcoin does find its top, does that mean that everyone is going to know that the top is in and that everyone's just going to sell at the right time? Absolutely not, guys, right? People are going to become extremely bullish on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on the altcoins at the final stage of the cycle. That's when people will be most bullish, is as you're creating the top. This happens in every single cycle. People are the most bullish at the top. The reason why the prices are going so high is because retail is becoming fully exposed to the market. And when people become fully exposed to the market, that's when you get overvaluation. That's when prices go to the moon. And people are most bullish when they're the most exposed to the market. What I've noticed in this cycle is every time Bitcoin dips or every time Ethereum sees a dip, people are extremely pessimistic and extremely bearish, and they say it's over every single red candle. And I have never seen a cycle end in this market with everyone being bearish on every dip. And that's all I've seen the entire cycle thus far. There is no confidence. All I see is skepticism. All I see is pessimism. There's no overwhelming enthusiasm. So that tells me that we're not in the overvaluation zone. In fact, if we do see a breakout to a new all-time high for Ethereum, if Bitcoin does break out into a new all-time high and heads up towards 140, 150,000, it may be the most hated rally because people aren't exposed. But what you'll notice is that as the prices run up and people start to FOMO, they will become bullish because they are now exposed and they have to defend their positions. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for people to become bullish again and to say buy the dip instead of it's over on every red candle. And we are nowhere near that yet. Nowhere even close. And it's really funny because people have been skeptical since 15,000 and they're going to become bullish up here. It's classic. It's really classic stuff. People were super skeptical on Ethereum at 1,400, but they will become bullish above 5,000. Classic. I mean, it's just retail. Never changes. It's always how it is. And guys, be sure to sign up for BloFin, one of the fastest growing exchanges. Currently, there's a really nice sign up bonus here. And also, most importantly, 20% cash back on all of your trading fees. So if you're trading, you get 20% of your trading fees back deposited into your account every single day, actually probably within hours. And if you're a serious trader, 20% could equal thousands of dollars per day, maybe even, per week. Depends on how, what size you're trading with. 20% is no joke. It's very difficult to find this deal in this market, right? There's not many people that are giving away 20% of their fees back to the user, but you guys have this opportunity right now. Sign up today for BloFin. You can trade spot, trade futures, and it's very easy to sign up, email. And if you're in the US, use a VPN and you can immediately begin trading. No KYC, very easy, very quick. And what we're seeing right now is that the total 3 high cap altcoin index, or all the alts excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is now ready for a major all-time high break. This is huge. This is alt season, or at least about to be alt season. A new all-time high for the total 3 is always alt season. And that is where we're sitting. We're sitting right on the edge of it. And this is just a simple upward sloping channel. And the next target comes in at 2 trillion. Is that the ultimate peak target? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the next target is about, 70% above us for the overall index of the total 3. Could we go higher than that? Certainly. But that is the next major area of interest before probably a major correction, maybe continuation later. The others chart is nearing a weekly RSI breakout. This is the low cap altcoin index. A weekly RSI breakout almost always means expansion, a major expansion phase into higher levels is coming. And also, if you look at the monthly RSI has already broken out for the others chart, which means that major expansion is on the way to new all-time highs, possibly as high as 1 trillion for the others low cap altcoin index. And also, as I was sharing on Twitter today, Ethereum's breakout target, the extrapolation of this consolidation from high to low of the pattern, you place it on the potential breakout zone, and it puts us at 5,500 for the next target. The next target for Ethereum on the next breakout on the daily time scale is 5,500. That's the next area of interest, right? That's a pretty big opportunity from here. And this is also not a crazy target. This is just another standard leg up on this run. It's just another stair step. It's another sort of average pump. It's like just normal standard bull market action. By the end of the cycle, we're likely going to go much higher than 5,500. I'm just telling you the next breakout target is 5,500. And also the S&P 500 is trending to new highs, trending up, new all-time high today on today's daily candle, just sort of nonstop floating up like a feather into new all-time highs. And if we take a look at the HYG, high yield corporate bond ETF, this is one of the most reliable bull, bear, risk on, risk off signals you can really find in the market. I'm going to put the HYG index above, or the ETF up here, and we're going to look at Bitcoin on the bottom. It doesn't really appear to have some sort of major correlation. Let's go to the weekly chart. But if you look closer at each one of these cycles, when the HYG begins printing lower highs and lower lows consistently, that is usually when the bear market is coming in. And when there's a major recovery, higher lows and higher highs, that's when the bull market is taking place. And then you see, if you look really closely here, when HYG is beginning to see lower lows and lower highs, that's when the bull market loses its steam. It loses its steam as you curl over from higher lows to lower lows and higher highs to lower highs. Right? If you look at the end of 2017, it's somewhat of a wedge that is created, and you start to get these lower highs, and that's when the 2017 cycle ends. Take a look at 2021, very similar type of price action. You get something that kind of looks like a wedge, and then you get lower highs and lower lows. And that is the end of 2021 when we go into the 2022 bear market. So that is the type of price action I'm looking for, a wedge, lower highs, lower lows, and it sort of just curls over, and we're nowhere near seeing that. Right? I don't see that at all on the HYG corporate bond ETF. So right now, it's kind of like we're looking for blue skies, essentially, according to this. It's risk on right now. Rates are coming down. S&P's new all-time high. Bitcoin's rebounding. Ethereum is very close to a new all-time high. The total 3 altcoin index is right next to the all-time high. The others chart is breaking above its monthly, weekly RSI downtrend. And I mean, it's kind of all just pointed up. It's all just pointed up right now. There's nothing that says that we should be bearish here. So I'm going to be maintaining a bullish bias, right? I've been maintaining a bullish bias for the entire parabolic trend, and it's been really, it's been helpful with guidance, with understanding what our bias should be. And a lot of people have been asking about the Bitcoin halving cycle profit model, and that is again suggesting November as being the end of the cycle. And one thing that I want to mention is that, even if Bitcoin does top out somewhere closer to November or December, let's say that, the technical bear market that we had for the S&P delays the top by 2 months, and we actually top somewhere in January instead of November. Regardless of that, a lot of the altcoins are extremely undervalued at these levels, right? There's no overvaluation in the altcoins at this point. They're all sitting at really, really low levels. So even if Bitcoin plays out a distribution pattern at higher levels, the altcoins have an opportunity to see major runs even after Bitcoin has topped, because people won't know that Bitcoin has topped and people won't be willing to accept that it has topped, especially if the altcoins begin to run and their bags begin to pump. Nobody's going to want to believe that Bitcoin's topping out. And so a lot of people are going to become overexposed into the highest prices of the cycle, thinking that it's really just begun. But remember, when the altcoins pop, which I think is coming, I think we're going to see a huge pump for the altcoins very soon, very rapid pump. When that happens, it's almost always a cycle top signal. It doesn't mean the cycle is going to end immediately. It just means that things are becoming overheated. That's all it really means. But again, the top can last for months on months on months, right? The top is not something that is just some sort of instant thing that happens and you just go straight down. That's not really how it goes. That happened in 2022 because the Fed came out and was very clear about their intentions, and it crushed the market. This cycle started on a heavy note from the Fed. The Fed was raising rates at the highest velocity in US history, and now we're ending on a lighter note. They're going to soften up here. So it means that the way that this cycle ends is probably going to be different than expected. Bitcoin could run to, let's just say 140, 150,000, whatever, right? Let's say it tops out somewhere November, December, January, doesn't really matter, and it has a major correction. There's likely going to be huge rebounds that take place after that bring us really close to the all-time high. And it really looks like Bitcoin might be, recovering. People will be really bullish on these rebounds. People will definitely be calling for 200K on these rebounds. But this is where the altcoins shine. So the altcoins have time to shine for months and months after the Bitcoin top, because people won't be willing to accept it. It'll look like Bitcoin is coming back up. This is just usually how it goes. This is just the psychology of the market. Those lower highs are extremely confusing for people. They're difficult to navigate, but this is likely, where the altcoins actually do their best is on those post all-time high rebounds when everyone is convinced that the cycle is not over and everyone's convinced that we're going to see new all-time highs after that. The altcoins will explode. Right? The altcoins are usually doing their best on Bitcoin's lower highs. So I do not discount the idea that the alt cycle could continue for months into next year, even after Bitcoin has topped. Because again, they're extremely low. They're undervalued here. There's nothing to dump at this point. It's all just, they're all flat at their major lows. It's like there's no profits to take. So why would it end here for altcoins? I don't think so. I think the altcoins are going to rip, and we're going to see altcoin cycle extend a little bit further than the Bitcoin cycle. But anyway, that's just my speculation. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe. And guys, be sure to sign up for BloFin. If you go to the activity center, there's tons of activities to partake in to win extra money, etc. Do not pass up on this 20% cashback deal on your trading fees. This equals a lot of money in the long term. You'd be really surprised at how much money you're saving with 20% cash back. It is a lot. It's actually substantial. And guys, sign up for Patreon if you want to take part in our morning voice chats. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, 1 hour after the US stock market opens. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we are doing 2-hour-long voice chats. Community chat where I give a presentation, and then people ask me questions and we have discussions. If something like that interests you, become a part of a community. Communication is key. You want to always be getting new information all the time. It's very important when you're trading and investing to have new information, to have discussions with people, to learn new things, be the first to know about new insights in the market. Definitely join Patreon today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.